Hello, welcome everybody. We're just gonna give it a few minutes for people to join. Thank
I was
you for,
having a hard time with the screen, but I figured it out.
oh, no problem. We are starting. We are starting, Dulce. Welcome, bienvenidos a todos. Welcome to our event, Transforming the Hispanic Community, Sin Miedo a Lo Nuevo. If you have any questions for our panelists, please leave it in the chat. We will definitely get to it. We have a lot of special guests today. We actually have a very special guest starting us off, the CEO of GLUOP, Eric Schmidt, who would like to personally welcome you all to today's panel discussion.
Hi, good morning and good afternoon. Eric Schmidt, CEO of GLUOP. I'd like to welcome everybody to this, our webinar on to welcome and honor Hispanic Heritage Month. I'm so honored that we have our panelists who are going to share some of their tips and tricks of what they've been doing to help grow their communities. And obviously, we look forward to engaging with everybody. I apologize, I'm in the Dallas airport, just arrived in Dallas, and shortly on Saturday, we'll be heading out to Orlando to join the U.S. Hispanic Chamber of Commerce event. So anybody who is going to be there, please look us up. We look forward to engaging and meeting more people. But really today is to honor the work of the Hispanic community and certainly the work that, the panelists and everybody else on the call does on a daily basis. And so thank you for joining and look forward to a very interesting discussion today. Thank you. Back to you, David.
Thank you, Eric. And then next, I would like to introduce Dulce Cortina. She is the Director of Memberships at the Edinburgh Chamber, located in Edinburgh, Texas. Nice to have you. Welcome, Dulce.
Next, pleasure being here.
Thank you for being here. Maite, also next speaker will be Maite Salazar. She is the Special Projects at the Latin Chamber Community Foundation. She's located in Vegas, Nevada. So welcome, Maite.
Thank you for having us.
And third is Juan Umansor. He is the president of the Salvadoran American Chamber of Commerce, located in Maryland, and he is all over the DMV. So welcome, Juan.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
And last is Marcelo Bottini. He is the executive director of the Argentine American Chamber of Commerce, and he is located in Miami, Florida.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, Marcelo. And last but not least, we want to introduce the moderator for today's webinar is Mervin Wea. He is the senior sales manager at GLUOP.
Thank you so much for welcoming me here, David, and everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome. I want to start off first with a general question, and this is going to be open to the entire floor. I'm going to go individually, just see some of your thoughts. First question is, the title of this webinar is Transforming the Hispanic Community, Sin Miedo a Lo Nuevo, without fear of the new. So my question to you is, and this is in your own personal life, where have you felt or where have you seen the ability that Sin Miedo a Lo Nuevo impacted you? And I'm going to start off first with Dulce.
Hi, yes, well, Sin Miedo a Lo Nuevo, I think that's the challenge that I kind of come across very frequently in my line of work. There's always something new happening and something innovative, and you just sometimes don't feel ready to take on that challenge. And sometimes you really just have to let go and jump at it and learn through the process. You're not going to know everything all the time. So it's important to reach out and to surround yourself with those that are knowledgeable in the areas that you want to grow. And if you want to achieve success, you really do want to surround yourself by those knowledgeable people and jump at it, have fun while doing it and learning and growing. And you have to no tener miedo and just do it.
Love it. And next I'll push it to Maite.
Yes, so certainly technology creates a lot of fear in a lot of people's minds. And I mean, including myself, but being in the field of marketing and public relations, when social media hit the scene, there was an initial fear because of, I tend to I like to promote my clients. I'm not about promoting myself. And so in an efforts to learn this new technology, it forces you to step outside of your comfort zone in different areas. And certainly, you know, the fear that I have experienced is a common fear amongst our Hispanic community, because there's an automatic fear that sets in when technology is involved. So certainly.
Love that. And then next, I want to go to Mr. Juan Umansor. First and foremost, feliz cumpleaños. Today is Mr. Umansor's birthday. Everyone, I hope everyone knows that. And please do me a favor and wish him a happy birthday. So what are your thoughts behind this, sir?
Well, thank you very much. You know, life is ever changing. And, you know, a philosophy that I have is that if we don't change, we're going to be out. We're going to become obsolete. And while there are challenges and everything, I mean, I'm in the real estate arena, and during the pandemic, our business, had to take a different direction on how we handle things, and just embracing that change and the technology. It was challenging, but it actually has expedited the way we do business, and I have embraced that, and I just move forward with things, and it's been amazing, and I love the way the technology is transforming the world. But we must love the change, and that's what I live by. That's my motto. I love change.
Love that. Thank you so much. And Mr. Marcelo Bottini.
Well, I think every day we have a new day, we have new things. It's something that you have to be in mind, and to face every day. I remember my grandpa used, to ride a horse. Is afraid about, the airplanes. I ride airplanes, and I am, afraid about the horse, So what you don't know, you are always afraid. But, we come from, I am not the computer generation. I learned how to work with the computer. Maybe I don't have too much skills or the fast skill like my son, but, always trying to, to be updated. So this is what happened with us in our chamber. I remember when David sent to us the proposal for the glue app we were talking about, I was very concerned about, not about concerning the software, about, something new. I used to send emails, and right now, what I have to do? What I'm going to do this, or I'm going to replace this. So everything, every day you have a new things, but, keep your mind open.
Love that point. And you've stemmed a question that I do have, and this again for the panelists here. Fear, right? A lot of times people understand the acronyms for fear, FEAR, forget everything and run. Why do you believe that we as individuals, human beings, fear things so much? Is it something where we were taught fear, or is it something where we've just embedded fear in our behavior and our mannerisms? And I'm going to start over with Juan first.
Well, thank you. As humans, we actually try to protect ourselves or the unknown. And so we just block automatically whatever that is. And, we just got to work with our mind and our mindset, and understanding that fear is not real. Yeah. That we just need to dive in and learn through the process. And that's what I do. Let's say I don't like public speaking, but I just go and dive in, and it says, what's the worst that can happen? So, just be fearless. Nothing is going to happen. I learned something that says, if you're willing to accomplish great things in life, you must want to, make a fool of yourself in the process. So just keep moving forward.
I love that. I'll pass it to Maite.
Well, just kind of like Juan said, it's an instinctive response, and there are different responses by different people. But fear seems to probably be one of the number one responses that people have to the unknown. And it's just learning how to respond differently to different situations. And I think that, if you feel that fear is your instinctive response, then maybe there are techniques that you can utilize to overcome those fears so that you can quickly process the information and come up to a different conclusion that will lead you to reduce your fear, to try new things. So I think that, there are those people who are fearless, who truly are instinctively fearless. And that could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing. So fear is not always a bad thing. It's understanding how to process that fear and turn it into something productive. And so I think the more that we know, the less that we fear.
Absolutely. And I'll go next to Mr. Bottini. With over 27 years in the career that you've been in the airline industry, you had to be fearless, right? You've probably lived with a little fear, but fearless had to be something that was embedded in your heart. If you don't mind sharing a little bit.
Well, fear is, keep you alive. Yeah. Okay, it's something that always there. I remember when I was talking, I remember the first time when I came, I was born in Brazil. So I worked for the Argentina Airlines and I worked for the CHAM, but I was born in Brazil. When I came from the United States, I got my kids. So at 3 years old, 4 years old, I took it to the school. And after 1 week, so I took my kid to the school. I stopped in front of the school, nobody there, empty. And I see my son, listen, God, I have no school today. Why you didn't talk to your daddy? We have no school, wasting time coming here, things like that. Daddy, I do not understand what the teacher is talking about. I don't understand anything in the school. So imagine, this kid, with the fear, when you went in, you see your friends or a lot of people there, you do not understand that. But now you talk to him, so it's an experience. So fear always there. It's always when you're there in the school, when you are working, in your private life, it's always a challenger to overcome.
Awesome. I appreciate that. And last, well, Dulce, you've dealt with a number of different challenges in your life, right? Challenges that may have that could have broke you, but you have overcame them, right? I think you have a true story that if you explain to others, they truly understand that fear means nothing. So Dulce, if you don't mind sharing just a little bit about how you overcame those fearful moments, or what does fear mean to you?
For me, Scott?
Yeah, Dulce.
Oh, Dulce. Oh, sorry.
Yes, please. I think Dulce is having connection issues there.
Yeah.
That's no problem. We'll come back to you, Dulce. So we're going to go on to our next point and topic here. Just to go with the fact that we talked about fear here. So according to the Latino Leadership Institute, right now the GDP for Latinos in the U.S. has hit $3 million. Yes, I said $3 trillion. I minus that $3 trillion. So in retrospect, if all Latinos would band together, you would have the 5th largest economy in the world. So we talk about fear, right? The fear of the unknown. So not understanding how powerful we are together, how powerful we are as a unit. Just think about that. So let's go on to the next question here. We're talking about technology, right? We're talking about how fearful some individuals are. What are some of the fears that hold others back from advancing the technology? And I'm gonna start over with Maite.
So can you repeat that question? What are the fears that are holding people back from advancing the technology? Is that the question?
Within the technology realm, yes.
And are you talking about from the industry side or from the consumer side?
Both sides, the consumer and the industry side.
I'm sure that it exists on both sides, because without a consumer base, then there is that fear factor on the industry side, because you want to make sure that you're producing something that has a demand.
Absolutely.
And certainly if there's fear on the consumer side, that certainly reduces the demand for what you're trying to provide. So, and of course, on the consumer side, there's always that fear, diving into something that is going to require, that has a learning curve, and it's going to take time. You know, a lot of new technologies have a learning curve, and there is like a setup time, and you have to get familiar. And sometimes you've learned some basic technologies that have helped you get through some challenges, and you become attached to those outdated technologies because they worked for you. And sometimes there's that fear of stepping into the unknown and embracing a new technology that may revolutionize what you've been doing to take it to the next level. So I think it's on both sides. You know, the industry side, of course, you know, you want to make sure there's a demand for your product, for your new technology, and fear doesn't become that obstacle of making that connection to a new consumer base. So, yeah.
I love that point. Marcelo?
Well, I think technology is something that's is every day in our life nowadays. So you see, sometimes you see what's going on. I have some personal experience. Then I went to, you know, just to laminate a document. I still have some things, you know, the old man, you know, want to laminate document. I went to the Office Depot to do that. So when I went there, the guy in the counter was looking to me, 5, 6 guys. I went on the line, the only one. I looked to them. And I saw something, you know, in the right side of the screen say, if you want to be, you know, to serve you, you send a message to this number. I mean, send a message to this number. And the guy looking to me, yeah, I'm looking at them. Nobody there, you know. For a while, technology, new. I'm like, put I went to my pocket and I forgot the phone in the car. So now, you know what I'm gonna do? What am I gonna do with this? And I was talking to the guy, you know, okay, I'm gonna make an exception for you. Oh, thank you very much. Very nice guy, very kind, you know. But you know, nowadays, if you don't have a smartphone, you know, things. So this is something that, you know, you are going, you know, work with this, you know. Now we talk to the AI every day, you know, how this can replace people, how gonna this, you know, do better customer service. There's a lot of things that happen. So I don't qualify technology like a fear, for instance, but I say is a bridge, you know, to move forward. And, you know, it to be updated. There is no option, you know. Maybe you see someone say, okay, now, you know, I decide to change my life. I go to the countryside, you know. I don't want technology, you know. This is a 1-year sabbatical thing down there. Okay, fine. And there is, you see, a lot of the, you know, trend about that, you know, how we're going to eat. You know, I was, you know, last week checking the movies in Netflix. There are ones that say, how to live to 100 in blue zones, you know, the seats, then, you know, they identify when people live for 100, 120 years. I don't know if I wanted to live 120 years, because if you see around, things getting crazy, you know. But, you know, what? You go food, you know, exercise every day, but not to go to the gym. But, you know, sometimes you walk around, you know, you have to go because you have no car, you are exercising, you know, by yourself without to go to the gym. So there is two trends, but technology nowadays, if you want, you know, to be in business, if you want, you know, to be connected to your grandson. I talk to my grandson, you know, if I don't have a smartphone, nobody gives it to me, you know what I mean? So I think, you know, it's another field. Technology is something that will be there, and you have to learn, you know, you have to move forward.
I like that. I like that. Dulce.
Yes, sorry about that technical difficulties, but touching up on the question that you had asked, I think in our Hispanic culture, we grew up like with a lot of fear, right? Somebody comes knocking on the door and you hide right away, right? You don't want to answer. You're just very afraid of everything. And I think that as I've grown older, I've learned that you can transform that fear into fuel. Like, you know, if I'm not afraid of something, that means I'm not going to do good, right? That is like fear motivates me to overcome it. And when it comes to technology, I also think that fear is just simply not knowing. It's just the unknown, right? So if you're able to just dive into the technology with the AI and stay relevant and learn and not, you know, don't be afraid, just jump into it, you'll find that it's very beneficial, that it helps you in many, many ways. And there was nothing to be afraid of to begin it with, you know, it was just, you just didn't know. So if you hold yourself of the unknown, it's gonna make you fearful of it. So when it comes to technology, the best advice is just go for it and learn and dive into it and mess with it on a daily basis. And you'll be able to understand that you can apply it in many different ways across any work that you do. So definitely technology is a big plus, especially with AI. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore, I say. Just ask AI, I'm afraid of this, how do I solve it? And it'll tell you, right? So definitely apply that and don't be afraid, just learn from it and apply it.
Love it. Juan?
Yes, fear is just, you're not aware of what it is. It's the unknown that creates that fear. And that might be lack of resources, understanding what you're getting into. And it's very simple. As humans, we are afraid, but again, fear is not real. And it's just lack of resources and understanding what you're getting into. That's what, why that fear comes to us as humans and Latinos. Again, what Dulce was saying, Latinos, we are very fearful because that's the way we were raised and afraid of the exposure and the unknown. But it's simply lack of information and resources.
I love that. And I'll say that the point that Dulce you made there about when you're younger and the fear thing, I'll tell you guys this. So I'm African, Liberian and Cameroonian. That's the same way that I grew up, right? If someone knocks the door, you run. You scatter like cockroaches. You hide, right? You hide, you stay quiet. You don't look outside the window, right? You don't do anything. So we were raised on fear. But like Marcelo stated and Maite stated, even Juan stated too, it was the unknown. So we were afraid of the unknown because we didn't know what was on the other side of the door. So I think across cultures, that is a norm, unfortunately.
Yeah, and keep in mind that, we have some, when I say fear, let me give you the example. We talk about the tech. I'm not fear about the technology, for instance. I'm fear about, what technology can bring and leave me alone. What I'm saying with that, I'm going to give you an example. So in my country, I don't have enough money to buy a big screen, the 75-inch, to watch a soccer game with Messi, okay? I buy one, with 15 because, we don't have enough money for this, have this. But I have 100 friends with me in the same room to watch the game. In the United States, I bought an 85 one, okay? Tall guys, big screen. You know how many guys you have with me? Just me. So it's not about the tech, it's about, to be alone, So we are, from my generation, maybe this new generation, we just talk to the smartphones and have our friends through the Facebook, things like that, They don't miss this, but us, we used to have with the friends. And if this smartphone, I put it this way, keep my friend away because he can talk to me through it's not the same thing. I have to touch, I have to see the thing. So this is sometimes is, what are the people, we are connect to where, I don't feel the breath, I don't feel the smell, people don't, it's not theirs. This is Latino people.
I love that. Anyone else want to touch upon that?
No, just I want to touch a little bit about what Marcelo said. I think, there's pros and cons to technology. And I know, there's the ways that you use the technology could be, fruitful or it could be bad, right? Like you could end up alone and isolated because nobody has to leave the house nowadays. Everything can be done by a click of a button. But I think if you use it the correct way, technology is a powerful, powerful tool. I mean, here we are nationally connecting with each other, sharing insightful insights through Zoom. We've never met each other, but we've created this collaboration because of technology, right? That wouldn't have been possible without it. So there's some merit to what Marcelo said, but I think it's just learning the good and the bad and using the good always.
Love that. So a question I do have here is, ask Juan this question. how has technology impacted your everyday work? And again, I touch upon the work that you do because you are within the real estate, not just within the real estate. You've dominated within the real estate. Let's make that clear, right? You're well known within the real estate industry across the nation, right? The things that you've done is very impactful. How has technology assisted or helped you be as dominant as you are?
Well, it's been tremendous. I've been able to do more because of technology. I never thought that I could sell a house without a buyer being able to be present. I've been, closing deals from, out of the United States because of technology. Virtual tours, getting everything done virtually, with the electronic signing and everything virtual. So it not only, simplified things, but it had expedited things in an amazing way. I mean, the pandemic came and accelerated 10 years of, of technology that is used now to help in our business. Look what we're doing right now. This was not something that it was done back in the days. Now we could do more and be more productive, because of the way technology it is. So I'm embracing it, I'm loving it. And, it actually allows us to do more. I remember when I started real estate 20 years ago, we had to fax, we had to use carbon papers and write manually the contracts. And that took forever. We actually had to hand deliver those contracts to the other agent. And it is just amazing. I love what the era of technology, what we live in right now. And it has impacted in a very positive way my business. And looking forward to the future.
Love that. And speaking of the future, speaking of impact, this is dedicated or tailored towards you, Maite. Being the president of Toastmaster en Español, being the first Spanish Next Level, creating the course offered in Southern Nevada. As I told you earlier, I read about you. You've done so much. How has technology assisted you in just the growth and the transition and elevation of everything that you've done? And my next question on top of that is, how do you see technology helping you continue to project and move further?
So that's a multi-level question. So Toastmasters, the origins of Toastmasters, one of the reasons is that public speaking is the #1 fear across the board. It is considered the #1 fear. It's higher than dying, being shot to death, So, and that was a great fear of mine, And just like Dulce said earlier, it's about challenging yourself to overcome your fears. And so part of that process was participating in Toastmasters and saying, hey, why isn't there a Spanish language Toastmasters? Because in our Hispanic community, we have so many people, so many immigrants from many countries who are great leaders, but have the fear of public speaking. So if we could overcome that fear, because if you can't overcome the fear of public speaking in your own language, it's going to be much more difficult to communicate in another language, with confidence. So that was part of that. With technology now, many of the Toastmasters groups have become hybrid groups where people can connect remotely. We have sessions sometimes that are international sessions of Toastmasters where we have groups connecting from Mexico, South America, even from Spain, to come together for a Toastmasters session. So it's really exciting to see how technology has really been able to bridge people across the world, connecting them, helping them to see that we're all facing the same challenges. We all face the same fears. We're all trying to overcome those things. And I think that one of the greatest technology tools that is really transforming and helping to bridge that fear in our Hispanic community are the smartphones. I think that the smartphone technology, because it's really so easy to use for almost anyone, not everyone, there are still people that are having trouble, but almost everyone has a smartphone in the Hispanic community. And that has really unlocked this universe of technology where I think that people are much more accepting and willing to try something new because they realize it's not as difficult as their mind has told them it was. So it's a change of mindset. And I think technology through smart technology like smartphones has really started to change the mindset where people are now diving into this new world of technology.
And if I may, and keep in mind that we talk about smartphone, but I call a smart machine because, you know, a smartphone, you have a calculator. You don't buy a calculator anymore. You take a picture, you know, how many you see the new smartphone, so you can take a picture. There's a lot of things there. I think smartphones or Apples, I think, kill a lot of the business. And at the same time, create a lot of the problem because, you know, go to the restaurant and you'll see a lot of people not talk anymore. Yeah. They always think, well, my wife sits in the car, you know, I'm driving. Sometimes they say, listen, look, what beautiful the color of this tree. Just saying, in other words, put the smartphone in your pocket, you know, you look ahead, you know, the work, because people are always there, you know, things like that. So it's a very good thing. I totally agree. But, you know, maybe we'll have take some idea of how we're going to use this properly, you know, in order, you know, not to replace something.
Like that. I love that. And interestingly enough, the question was coming to you next. In regards to you being a regional director of the Aerolíneas Argentinas airline there, my question to you is with that technology side there, what are some advancements that I guess you guys have utilized within the constant change in technology, right? Technology changes by the minute. 1 second you're using, let's say, smartphone. Next second you're speaking to the phone. Next second your phone is speaking to you. So what have you guys done in order to work within the advancement of technology?
Yeah, technology for us, you know, is an essential part. Okay, no, so I use online tools and platforms to collaborate with my colleagues and clients, such as video conference, you know, cloud storage. You have a lot of the tools, project management, software, what else? I use a digital device, you know, and applications to create and edit various types of the content, such as documents, you know, this help a lot. But always, now we are trying to use the AI, you know, AI and is a machine learning to automate and optimize some of the process tasks, and, you know, data analysis, a lot of things. So we are so connected with technology. But my personal feeling is, and, you know, I agree totally what Juan said before. So we can send, you know, PDFs, a lot of things, you know, this is what you used to be the paperwork, you just print from WhatsApp, you know, everything. However, when you have to close a business, you have a new business, people have to trust you. People need to look to your eyes. Okay. Maybe I remember when, you know, we finished the pandemic, you know, we start to work, you know, things like that. We learn a lot. We learn a lot with it. Zoom was a big ghost for us. And now Zoom, you know, I remember my first Zoom, I came 1 hour before, you know, and shaking because you're going to work. Things like, now I come 30 seconds before and tick, 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 tick. You know, if it's not work, I fix in 1 minute, you know. So this is something that, you know, this is speed up, you know, all this process. But, you know, works perfectly for, let's put it this way, for the customer that I used to have. For the new customer, we talk, but, you know, to close the business, you see, you know, maybe you have, you know, have a coffee with them, you know, and see face to face. This is something that's still there. And, you know, this is what I see. But, you know, technology for us is something, you know, now is every day, everyone, you know, you have to change the work. Do you think, you know, you can work from your home? I go for the simple things, you know. No, you can work at home, doesn't matter. You know, you remember the past. Wow, where's Marvin? He's not in the office yet. You know, I don't care where Dulce or Juan is. I don't care. I care about, you know, you are working, you know, you are connected, you know, that's it. You know, people give you the opportunity to work in different times. Yesterday I was talking about, you know, some colleagues in the Argentina Chamber of the Commerce about, you know, to launch the glue up. No, we are going to work with the glue up. And no, we're going to make a webinar for you. Listen, stop. Webinar, say 12 start, you know, everybody has to be there in front of the computer or the telephone, you know. I know, send, you know, put a hacker, put a kind of the something that, you know, people can turn on when they want. I have a lot of people, you know, work during the night. I have a lot of people, you know, my daughter work with the show business. She come to visit us. It's a joke because when I was, you know, wake up, she's sleeping. When she's wake up, I'm sleeping. You know, because, you know, the show business, you're going to start to work, you know, 10 o'clock in the morning, go to 4 o'clock in the morning. So you are not in different time zone. You know what I mean? So you have to do something, you know, to give the people the option to, you know, see when you want to see. This is a big challenge we have now, you know. It's not, you know, to accept the glue up, you know, how break our paradigm, say, let's go, but, you know, how are we going to do to, you know, the people start to work with this? How are we going to download this thing? How are we going to, you know, see this thing? You know, because there is a lot of people, despite that, you know, we talk about smartphone, a lot of people, they don't care too much about that thing, you know.
Love that. And just to note, anyone in the audience, if you have any questions, please put that in the chat. We will have a stopping point where we will answer or ask the questions you do have to our panelists. All right. So now I just want to go over an important fact about Hispanic Heritage Month. Hispanic Heritage Month celebrates the histories, cultures, and contributions of citizens whose ancestors come or originate from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, Central, and South America. So my question, I'm going to move over to Dulce. All right. So the Rio Grande Valley region is approximately 94% Hispanic. Can you talk about what are some ways that Hispanic businesses and communities are innovating within your region?
So I think that for here in the Rio Grande Valley, since 94%, you know, is Hispanic, I don't think we differentiate of like, hey, because we're Hispanic, we're doing things a certain way. We're just doing it, right? And I think that is why we have so much success. I think it'd be a little bit different where there's a very smaller percentage of Hispanic and they're kind of trying to keep up with, you know, the way everybody else does things. But for us, I think it's a little bit different. Everybody that innovates something, there are already a Hispanic person and they're already sharing it with everybody else. But there is definitely a lot, you know, to learn from and a lot to grow from. So you know, technology has been just amazing. I've had some people come to my office and be like, hey, Dulce, like, you know, I need some advice on how to, you know, create a package for, you know, my new spa that I just opened up. And I'm like, I'm no expert, right, on opening up a spa, but I'm just like, hey, have you asked ChatGPT to create something for you, right? And it's just been a wonderful time saver for just anything. So I think that has really, for me in my job function, that has helped me a lot with time. You do have to be a little careful. You have to tailor it to how to make it sound like you, and the more you dabble and play with it, the more it sounds like you. Because at the beginning I was like, that doesn't sound like me, and you just twitch it here and there and be like, hey, I want you to create this post targeting the Hispanic community in the Rio Grande Valley area, and it would really do that. Use less corporate jargon and it would do that, and it sounded more like me. And then now after playing with it for so much, I write something and it kind of knows how I speak and it sounds just like me. It's kind of scary. But I think the success here in the Rio Grande Valley, and I have to share, we in Texas were one of the most like successful for commerce places to be at. We are the 12th fastest growing region consistently nationwide. And I think it's because we are hard workers, we're go-getters, we're innovators. we kind of rub up on each other. And I've had people move from California down here, and they can attest that, you know, you won't find anybody down here asking for money, right? Like for a free handout. In the mornings, you'll see the shops full with a line around because everybody's headed to work. And if one thing that the Hispanic culture has is that they're hard workers. So if somebody's doing something great, they want to jump on it and they want to excel at it, and that's how they attribute to their success here in the Rio Grande Valley.
And I'll say something that I do like. I think you know your audience, you know your people. The important piece is knowing your people, right? Correct. Sometimes we do things because we want to do things, but we don't know our people, right? We're doing it to get the job done versus doing it to do the right job for others that need it, right?
Correct.
Sometimes building things you don't need to build, but that's another whole story there. All right. So a question now I got for Juan here. So we talked about technology and we're asking about the advancement, but with you in your advice for young aspiring entrepreneurs within the Hispanic community, especially in the terms of technology, what are some advice you have for those young individuals that are aspiring to be well-depth in technology realm and do some of the things that you did there? Like you said, I've sold deals from technology. I don't have to physically be there. What are some advice you'll have for those young individuals?
Well, the number one thing is invest in yourself, become the best version of yourself every single day. And knowing that technology is here to stay, embrace it. You know, invest in it, become familiar with it, because if you want to succeed in this new world, technology is here, and it's the number one tool or resource that we're going to have, and it just makes it as amazing as humans, because we can connect around the world globe, and we could do so much, like I said earlier. And with the metaverse, the virtual world, and everything that is happening, but not let technology control us, but rather us control technology and utilize it to enrich people's life and ours. That's how, you know, I would put it to the young ones. And I think this should be essential, like writing, math. This should be essential for humans now to learn anything and everything about technology. It's something that you cannot ignore, because you're gonna be like a dinosaur if you don't embrace the change.
I like that statement you said there about not letting technology control us, control technology. So often we let our technology control us, i.e. your head is always down because you're on your phone, i.e. you fall and trip because you're so busy, not paying attention. So that's a really strong point there that you made there. Controlling technology, not letting technology control us. Beautiful point. My next question is for Maite. So we're talking about the advice you have for the youth, but now I have advice for individuals, because you've dealt with so many different challenges when it comes to teaching these business courses and even planning these courses. What are some advice you have for those that want to get within your realm there? Someone that's aspiring to do what you've done, be as accomplished as you are. What is an advice you have in regards to that?
So I would, you know, during the pandemic, we had to transition to technology through Zoom. And I think that now through YouTube and many of these platforms that allow you to produce webinars and videos and get your message out there, I think that it's important that people embrace all these new platforms that are available to them so that they can market their programs or their training or whatever it is. You see this all the time on YouTube, you know, where they have these little short videos and all of a sudden you click through and it's, you know, a funnel that takes you to the website that signs you up for this training. And it's really fabulous because, you know, through technology and AI, they're really starting to identify your market for you. So the AI is identifying and it's channeling your message to the most appropriate audience who want to hear your message. So there are a lot of beautiful tools available. We actually, the Latin Chamber of Commerce Community Foundation, we have an AI webinar through GlueUp next week. So anybody who wants to join, please sign up. It's going to be in English and in Spanish. And so it's all about embracing the technology available to us and helping to prepare the next generation on how to best utilize technology to their advantage. In order to compete, I think, in this new digital age, we have to embrace technology, because like Juan said earlier, we will become obsolete if we don't embrace technology. And that's the reality that we're up against.
That's such a good point. And I'll use an example of a technology piece, and then I'll go to the next question. So it was at a point in time, it came where it was telling everyone to adapt to the credit card or debit card with the RFID code, the little chip in there. I didn't want to do it. I said to myself, I will not adapt to this thing here. I have no chance at all. I lost my card. So I lost my card, and then the only card available was that version. And then I seen someone at the grocery store that was tapping their card, and they walked through the line. I said, I want to tap my card too. I adapted to that. So now I'm a part of the tapping of the card in the grocery store. So adapting to technology is 100% key, or you will be left behind. Next question I have here, it's going to be for Marcelo. Currently, right now, I might make it a little bit more fun right now. I'm going to make this fun for you. You live in Florida, right? And Messi, he's in Florida now, right? How has his arrival in Florida impacted the community? How has things changed? What is it like in Florida now that the second best soccer player ever to do it behind Ronaldo, Messi, is there?
Okay, let's make this a real fun, I am Brazilian, man. I have conflict to talk about that, soccer conflict. But, I have to recognize that, first, this is a good question for David Beckham, the co-owner from the Inter de Miami. So he was, a genius guy to bring Messi, and to soccer sport in the United States, and try, to give a big revamp in the soccer. These days, I remember some guys tried this years ago when Pelé was playing corn in New York, things like that, but, never go through. But, Florida was never the same after Messi. So he brought, patience and joy to the fans for the Inter Miami. You turn on the TV, you see what's going on. You go to the stadium, small stadium. It's totally different. I had the opportunity to go to see the game before Messi, after Messi. I thought that I was in a different place. Before, people was there, is eating. Nobody, watching the game. Now everybody's connected. And became an inspiration, for the young players. And to see there. I have a friend who, he always in the stadium, and then he's a very good person. Messi is always connected. Messi is a great player and a great person who had made Florida a better place to live for the Latin American and the American guys. We still have some American guys here. So Messi impact was felt on the field and out of the field. I give you the example. When I went there to buy a T-shirt for me, I was invited to. Well, the gesture, the T-shirt was a $65. It's a pink color. I was very fascinated with the color, things like that. Well, I'm gonna buy one, just to show off. When I see the price, well, wow, 65, I can buy 10 pizzas. No, I'm gonna buy the thing. So when I went there with Messi, well, the price was $185. See the big impact, when you see that. He was a game changer for the state economy. This is what happened around, I work in the airline. I see a lot of the Argentinian people and the other people come to, to Miami to see Messi, to have the opportunity to see Messi playing, because in their country, they don't have this opportunity. I remember I went to the game in the stadium and was Argentina against, I think, Honduras. And, you know, I was impressed, you know, a lot of, more than 2/3 of the stadium, the Honduras people. I said, wow, how can I have too much Honduras people here? Everybody's messing. It's not about, you know, the selection, the player from the Honduras, it's about, you know, the messing. So his he boosted the popularity and revenue of his team, the Miami Fusion. And now it's different. You talk all time. You click, you see Inter de Miami everywhere. Okay, mass impact on Florida was so significant. Some people call Messi effect. You know, a lot of what happened in Florida nowadays.
Love it. And I think the reason why I also brought that even up as though is, like you said, just his impact of being there has brought more advancement in having to adapt in the new technology, right? More people means you have to become more technology sound, right? Because you're right. So there was a reason in regards to that. So
I remember I got a proposal from Inter de Miami because, you know, Argentina, things like that, you know, they, you know, to be sponsored. 4 or 5 months before Messi coming, you know, you just have rumors about Messi. And, you know, it was a $5 million, things like that, to put your name here for $5 million. That's too much money, you know. Under the situation in Argentina, economic situation, there's no way. So we said no. After 5 months, come Messi. And you know, I get the phone, I call the guy again for, listen, how much now, you know, to put the name in the shirt, you know, for the times 100. And I'm like, wow.
I love that. So we're almost closing in the time that we have here. So I have 2 more open questions I do have for you all. And then what I want to do is, if any audience individuals have any questions, again, please put it in the chat so that we can go back, refer to that, and any of those questions can be answered. Just as an open room question, in regards to online resources or resources for communities where people can continue to learn about not just technology, but also developing and better themselves. I want to ask first, Mike, do you have any resources that you're willing to, or that you have that you can share to others? You did say YouTube, which is huge because YouTube is like a university there. But did you have anything else that you can share with others?
Well, like you said, YouTube has become kind of my university for, you know, like, how do you fix something that breaks in your house, and how do you repair? And just like Dulce mentioned earlier too, about you have to be willing to dabble and play with technology. And certainly YouTube can walk you through step by step on almost anything you can possibly think of. So you don't have to blindly enter this realm. There are plenty of tools out there, and they really explain step by step on how to troubleshoot a problem, how to work through a problem, and how to repair the plumbing in your house. So absolutely. YouTube is a big one, at least for my generation. I know that now there are new platforms for the younger generations, and but certainly YouTube has worked for me.
I think TikTok is a big one. People can just go in there, and I think TikTok's a huge one where kind of use it less as Google. Like sometimes I'll go in there and, you know, type in something that I want to learn, and they're really good. These younger generation are really good about walking you through how to use a camera, how to record a video, how to do any of that.
That's a great point you made there, Dulce, because I'll be honest with you guys, a lot of the things that I use TikTok for is helping assistance, right? Recipes, changing the battery on my keys, doing random stuff, be honest. So let's see, since we said the young individual, let's go with you, Marcelo. Anything that the younger generation is using currently right now in regards to technology that you could?
Well, I'm still in selection process. What I mean, say, okay, you play with TikTok, you use, YouTube, you try to find out, because it's very difficult to have use everything at the same time. So you have always what's something that you prefer to use than another one. No? So when you talk about this, so for instance, now I am in YouTube, it's true, you can learn how, to fix this. You can learn if you are down, you put a nice music, if you can see this, you'll get someone talking about something, And one advantage I see this, let me put this for everybody, is that, for instance, I go home, I get a traffic, 1 hour traffic, I get my smartphone, I put it in YouTube, and I can listen to someone talking about AI, for instance. So 1 hour, I don't turn on the radio, this. I arrive at home, I can put my big screen TV, the YouTube, because, you can access YouTube through the TV. So what replace sometimes, so I'm not watching a movie tonight. I'm going to, see if I found something good in YouTube that has 1,000 options. No? So I'm still working with different tools to, to see what is the best, for me, And nowadays I say I am, following the YouTube too much, TikTok, I saw a lot of things TikTok, but I have to be very open. I don't know too much about TikTok, but I promise to be more knowledgeable, and I talk about this with those tomorrow.
Love it. And we'll still finish up with Juan. The same question: what are some of your favorite online tools or resources that can help assist others in regards to those tech opportunities or even technology in general?
Well, thank you. That's a great question. And I would say there are no reasons or excuses for what you shouldn't accomplish what you want in life. Between YouTube, Google, TikTok, ChatGPT, and everything, those are just some of the platforms that are there to help you become the best version of yourself. So, unlimited resources and platforms that are available for humanity nowadays. I mean, the limit is in your mind. So all these tools, platforms are here to make us better as humans. So, I mean, I use YouTube to do motivational videos, to learn how to do certain things. ChatGPT helped me with writing and making plans in different ways. So it is simplifying life and allowing us to enjoy life better with no stress. So yes, everything is at our fingertips right now. Let's conquer the world. Let's make this a better place for everybody.
Love that. I love that. And then the last question I do have, if you could, and I feel like that was the closing statement there, if you could leave the audience with one last statement, I'm going to start back with you, Juan, because I think that statement could be repeated again. If you can leave them with one statement.
Well, I wanna bring awareness for our community, the Latino community. We are the largest minority in this country. And like you said at the beginning, we contribute to the GDP of this country, $3 trillion. That is powerful. So we could be the 5th most powerful nation in the world. So now the community is coming together as a force. I feel it. I'm there. And we have understood that we need to unite. So corporations, politicians, and everybody knows that we're here to stay and to make a difference. We are an engine for this country. We're making things happen. We work hard, and we're an amazing community, just like the other ones. And we need to be taken into account. We need to be everywhere. And somebody mentioned we're going to Orlando, with the U.S. Hispanic Chambers of Commerce. We're about 230 chambers, and we're connected. We're working together to strengthen our community, to inform, to educate, to inspire, to connect. And this is our time, our era. And we're here to stay and make this country more amazing. So love, peace, for everybody.
I love that. That was beautiful. Maite, you can leave the audience with one message or a few messages. What would that be?
Probably one sentence that kind of wraps it up for me is, don't be afraid to step into your purpose and use all the tools available to you to become, like Juan said, the better version of yourself.
I like that. Short and sweet and right to the point. I love that. Marcelo, how about yourself?
I can say that, everyone can have the technology. Okay. So, if you have a cash or not, you can have the technology. The point is, if you have the same technology, what make difference? What make the difference is the people behind the technology. How we're gonna use the technology, your ideas, you have this thing. So keep in mind, I used to say this every day in my work, say, okay, everybody can buy the 787 aircraft. You have a money, you can buy. But what is the difference? The difference, the people was there. So people make difference. We talk a lot of the technology, but people make difference.
Awesome. And I'll close out with Dulce. You're on mute, Dulce.
Oh no.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Hello, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me now? I'm so sorry. So I was just saying, just what I wanted to say is just don't be afraid of jumping into technology. But if I can leave everybody with something, is that as a Hispanic culture, we have an advantage, right? We are very well, we have that culture of being together. And if you could merge that one-on-one personality that we already have, that kind personality and we merge it with technology, you guys can go far, because it is getting lost. That personal touch and that personal connection does get lost in the technology. And there's some people that go to an extreme that all they do is technology. They don't even want to open the door for you anymore, because you can sign via email and they can send you that DocuSign and there's no need to meet with you and you're wasting their time. But I think as a Hispanic culture, we don't lose sight of that togetherness and that personal touch. And I think we're already at that advantage, because we don't let go of that. And I don't think we ever will, no matter how much technology gets put into us. And I think that's what sets us apart. And I think that's how you will achieve success and go far beyond anywhere you want to reach. So that's something that I leave everybody with.
I love that. Well said by our panelists. That was very beautiful. Now let's see, audience, if anyone has any questions, please type it in the chat. Let us know what you have there. We would love to issue these questions out to our amazing panelists. So I think right now, I think they're enamored by the great speeches, taking that in right now.
Well, while they're asking questions, I want to say something, because this is very prevalent in our society. As social media is a big part of our life. And I want to tell people that God made you unique. And as unique as you are, you need to be authentic. You have no competition. The competition is within yourself always. And everybody goes at their own page. We can't be copying anybody, because we were designed to be authentic. So in that world of Instagram, TikTok, and whatever is happening out there, don't pay attention. Live your own life. You have no competition. You are your own competition, and you're God's creation, and you were born to stand out alone. Don't copy. Be authentic. And God bless everyone.
I love that.
I think there's a question. I don't know if you guys can see it.
We do have a question here. So as business grow in our areas, what opportunities can we use to link educational work-based learning experiences for our students in the workforce?
And we can have this go to anyone that wants to answer the question. Let's see.
I guess I could assist with that. I think it's very important that we prepare our students and our workforce, because I think technology is very innovative, and especially here in my area in Rio Grande Valley, we have a lot of kids graduating college and wanting to leave our area to go and pursue bigger job opportunities, you know, in larger areas. But I think here for us in the Rio Grande Valley, we want to, you know, make that shift so that we equip the students and we immerse them in that technology, because nowadays, just, you know, surgeries, you know, they're just laser surgeries nowadays, invasive surgeries. And it's just like, are we prepared for that? Like, are our students prepared for that new technology so that that talent stays here and it's retained here? So you have to make sure that you link that educational work based on what is your target? Like, I know that our region is known for the medical hub and for like our university hub here. So we want to make sure that we prepare, you know, our students for those areas so that we can retain that talent here and our community can grow.
I'll also take a stab at that question. I think that there are a lot of resources in our communities, in our different communities, for connecting, you know, educational work experiences, especially after the pandemic. There were dollars that were received in a lot of the different communities, and they're still being expended on programs to help connect the workers with the employers. And so I think it is important to reach out to the local universities and the colleges. There are also workforce dollars, Workforce Investment Act dollars that are going back into the communities that business owners don't know about. And so sometimes there are, you know, paid internships. There are different programs that will help business owners train people. It's kind of on the job training. It just depends on your community and how they're spending their dollars, but the programs do exist, and many times people are not well aware of them. So it's about just making the right contacts and connecting with the right people in your local community. Maybe contact your small business administration office in your community or your community colleges.
So, does anybody else want to answer that?
I do want to tell Luis that reach out to your Chamber of Commerce. They do have a lot of resources for students. There's many, and like you said, Mike, going back to what you said about the universities, we work very, very close to our University of Texas of Rio Grande Valley here, and they have so many resources, and people don't know of them, but we are one of the places where they can come and we can direct you. I feel like the Chamber of Commerce are that middle point where we connect government, education. So definitely reach out to the Chamber of Commerce, because they can, if not provide you that insight, point you in the right direction where you can, you know, link for those educational opportunities for our students.
Okay. Then the next statement was said, great panel. Thank you. Let's all work together. www.cvmsdc.org. They want you guys to join them on their next DEI event, October 31st, November 1st. This is a promotion I just did out here for them. So
Yes.
they would love for you guys to join them. So thank you very much. Besides that, yes, if no one else has anything else, I would love to first, but on my behalf, just thank you guys very much. I really appreciate the entire panel.
One last question here. So from Angel La Luz, fear can also be driven by the immigration status of the individuals who may be getting exposed to technology for the first time. Fear that may be driven by the fear of how information will be shared. What have you seen to help reassure communities and alleviate this fear? Can be the difference between getting access to resources that are needed.
So I want to that question. I think I can answer it. I live in the border, right? Like, I'm 5 minutes from Mexico, but I'm a DACA recipient. If you don't know what that is, it's the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. So I was born in Mexico, came here, I have a work permit, but I can't travel. So definitely growing up, you were very afraid, right? What are the repercussions? Am I going to get in trouble? Now they're going to know where I live. And I'm going to tell you, no, there's no legal action towards that. Don't be afraid. Don't let that hold you back. There's more help out there than what you think there is. And for all my immigrant Latino people that are here, even if you are here with, like with no immigration status, I say fear can hold you back from accomplishing everything. And if you're gonna let that little piece of paper hold you back, you're making a big mistake. You're only going to grow and get better and find those resources by speaking up. And there is help and there is guidance, even for somebody that doesn't have that immigration status. And now with technology being so innovative and being to reach so much audiences out there, you can use it as a benefit for you to grow and make yourself a better person. So definitely we go back to saying, like, you grew up being fearful. Don't let fear take over, because it's just something that you don't know and you're letting it stop you. So go for it and jump without fear and use that technology to the extent.
Thank you. And we're about to wrap up. I definitely think the biggest asset that the Latino community has is the unity. And like, I feel like a lot of you have heard about this, but Los Latinos Unidos jamás serán vencidos, right? That's always a saying that goes around. I think, definitely want to thank you, Mervin, for moderating this event, and obviously all the speakers that attended. And obviously on behalf of the Glue Up team, we would like to thank you all for everything, for sharing your experiences, and everyone for attending our event today. There is a saying that one of my really good mentors says, agarra el toro con los cuernos, right? And if you don't know who that is basically, take the bull by the horn. I think that's how the attitude that we should have just in life, and to face the new challenges that we have within the technology field, or even the community, right? But, we definitely look forward to seeing you all again soon at our next event. Once again, everyone, thank you for your time, and take care and stay safe.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.